Hey, what's up? What's up, man? You good?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yourself?
Sorry?
I said I'm good, man. Yourself? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
cool. How's your weekend, man?
Yeah, good. I visit my parents
Okay.
and
Do you
and
guys
I
live apart?
yep,
Oh, right. Cool. That's
I
awesome.
live just with my girlfriend.
Okay, cool. I see that. See that. So yeah, basically I just wanted to come on here and do end of week like we normally do, to see what sort of opportunity this week had provided and then whether we was able to profit from it. I did have a quick look in terms of the opportunities, at least 10 to 1. There were some, but some of the entries were questionable for me, mainly because of the timing and stuff, but we'll look into it. Just fundamentally, we could see the start of the week was a bit slow. Monday, I believe there was I think some sort of holiday, if I'm not mistaken. Um, let me see.
Yeah, I think for Canada and US.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so there was, yeah, that's right, bro. Yeah, so there was some bank holiday, Monday, and then we kind of kicked things off. I believe Wednesday was like, yeah, Wednesday morning really kicked things off. And then it kind of quieted down a little bit, and then Friday we had just some more news come out. But overall, very slow week. Um, Tuesday there was also some big news as well. But let's see what that did on the market. I'm gonna start off with NJ. Um, cool. So with NJ we're bullish times three on this. We can see that this was our break, and this is what's maintaining a lower time frame. We have come into some sort of extreme here. I believe it's something around 80% of that is where we're sitting at. Um, so essentially, this is what's holding order flow. Once we break that, then we'll be bullish order flow. This is what's needed to make a new lower time frame high. So when we look at this, we're bullish times three. And then inside here, again, it's just noise, but there was some sort of opportunity on a Thursday inside here. So we'll look at that. Let's go all the way down to 5 minutes. Before we do that, let's look at cool. So this is fairly enough. Again, we can see the market has been ranging here. The market has been ranging here, but the play was in here. And essentially, it was only because there was a clean price action in there, right? So now, when we look at, let's come into here. So cool. When we see this kind of price action, right? Um, so again, we know that this is what's maintaining this, and then we know this is what will be maintaining it if we go and we make this high, right?
Mhm.
So when we see this kind of price action, again, two things can happen, right? Either price has tapped into supply and then we seem to distribute to come down lower, or price can turn around and then reaccumulate and then go, and then we'll come a bit deeper, ideally to go and make a new high. Um, and essentially, one of the key things to look out for is the shakeout to see what was price done in there. If we get a shakeout that's like, that's just going down, that hasn't formed anything, then obviously we know price has come into some sort of supply. But if you can see a shakeout where they've accumulated, this could be a good opportunity to kind of reduce risk yourself into it to at least go and make a new high. Because when we look at a reaccumulation, we know the reaccumulation starts off with a distro that then ends up with a shakeout and then the shakeout in the form of an accumulation. So when we look at what has happened here, we get the shakeout, right? We'll just do that. And then inside that, as I said, we get, for me, this would be a type 4, right? We have the drives, but just because it's not the cleanest for me. Um, there's no doc- accumulation. Okay, so this is what it is for me. And then when you when you look at this, obviously this is the boost that we need to get, and then this is the trading range that where we need to get. So a couple of things that I would have looked at, and again, this would have been the start of this week. So this is Monday, and then now we're coming up into Tuesday. So do that. So a couple of things that I would have looked at, I would have looked at the whole of this, and then we're currently sitting at that 50 just before Frankfurt Open, which is cool, which is ideal, right? I would have looked at the retracement of it, see if that lines up with anything. At the moment, not really. And then I would have looked at that last spring, okay, that last push down, and I would do it from market open. So I would do it from this to that. Okay, so for me, this is an area where I would like to wait for around here. You can look for some sort of accumulation. Ideally, this is my point of interest. That's what I would wait for to see if we can get into something. Price comes into it. Now is it worth a limit? Let's see. There's
Do you apply
imbalance.
limits from type force?
No, no, I don't have a limit yet. So I'm looking to get into a limit. So now I'm looking whether I should place a limit. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna look at whether it's so this is 6 pips. Oops. So this is something that I can actually throw half of the risk. So I'm gonna put just in between that imbalance there, and then just make that 8 pips counting for spreads, and then we're looking for this high to get taken, number one, and then we're looking to obviously number two come up into this area here. So that gives you your 10 to 1. So this is where I would throw. So let's just say because this is earlier on, I'm looking to throw $25 into this, half of 50, and then the other 25 is I'm gonna be paying attention to. I like how we're coming into it during market open, not market open. I mean London open.
Hmm.
So I'll be watching for some sort of accumulation after the booth. Yep, cool. So limit there, and then we'll be watching that. And I already like how it's forming so far, right? Maybe we can get something like that. That'll be ideal. Yeah. So let's play out. We get some sort of booth. Let's see if it comes back. And I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. So now the next thing I will need it to do is I'll need it to take out this high, which it does. Okay, so now for me this accumulation is valid. Okay, and because it made this high, this was holding the order flow. I have now deleted that 80%. The 80% is not valid for me anymore. Can delete that. We can delete this. Okay. Um, maybe I'll try like a 9 minute. Yeah, I like that one. No, I like that 9 minute. So I'm gonna do With that to that. 80%, 9 minutes. We'll leave that. So I'm gonna run this up to 3. And then again, we're looking to make a new high. So if we're looking to make a new high, well, depending on whenever we finish the move, it could be here, it could be here, it could be here, right? So whatever the move is, whenever we start the retracement, that's one of the first target I would look to take when price comes into it.
Yeah.
Just letting it do its thing, and then yeah, there you go. So once we break this, which it has now, that would be my first target. That already is a 17-1. And then I'll be looking for this as a to make a new high. And then so that'll be my TP1, TP2, and then TP3 would be to go and take out this high, this order flow high here. Cool. So let's see if we get into that. And again we can do a couple of things. We can split that. So I'll throw 25 and 25. So that's 50. Just do this. Yep. I'll do we cover the 80 by any chance? Okay, so yeah, we cover that 80 and then this will get activated. So 3 pips here, 3 pips here. This is $25. Yeah. So and then our main focus is at 10-1 at least, which surprisingly is just here. Cool. I'll just put that one here like that. Okay, cool. So that's what I'll be waiting on. And we are currently Tuesday, New York, New York just finished. And then boom, there you go. So that's 6 o'clock for me, my time, and I think 7 o'clock for 7 o'clock for you would have activated that. And then we actually do. So we missed that bloody 80 by just a little bit. Come back into it. And then off we go and make a new high to here. So now, again, we can, as I said, we can see price has come into point of interest, right? It made sense in terms of what we was looking for, and which is why I wanted to backtest it because this week was a bit dry. But in terms of it being a signature trade that we like to look for, it's quite questionable. For a couple of reasons really. Because number one, it comes into it during for me personally outside of my trading hours. My trading hours were then here. Number one. Number two, look at, I mean, yeah, we've got the volume behind it, but if we look at a trade that the process of it, okay, and then therefore the emotions behind of it, this is very when you get into when you know as well, when you know you've gotten into a good trade, price don't linger around here like this. Price comes in,
Yeah.
mitigate, and then go. But when we look at this trade, it comes into it, which is the first time we should have come into it. And then look, we come into it the second time, and we come into it the third time. So for me, this is good that it has come into it, like into our point of interest. We can see a type 2 accumulation in there, inside that 50, and whatnot. But this for me is not something that I would be highly looking forward to, in terms of being in the trade. Although it has given us a 16-1 or just close to an 18 to 1. So this is that, right? This is, let's actually come to where we are now. And then we can see it just didn't hold, right? But and then look, price comes back into that 80 actually. So it's funny. But this again, this is order flow, right? Because when you look at this is what was maintaining it. When we went and we made the new high, this is what was maintaining it, and then we broke it. So this is what was maintaining it, and then we come back down into the 80. That's maintaining the whole thing. So, but as I said, it was clean, but just not clean enough really. But that was NJ. And then in terms of trade managing it, it would just I feel like it would just been a waste of time in terms of journaling it and trade managing it, because as I said, you would have needed that to break, which I guess you would have survived this. And again, if you didn't get activated here, maybe you've left the 50 limit here, and then 10 o'clock my time, so market changeover, would have, I guess, you would have had to waited 1 hour for you to go to reduce risk, and then when that happens, price comes back. Now whether, because again this is high spread, so whether you were still in or you would have got tapped out, God knows. And then imagine you waking up the next morning as well, right? Seeing that price come here, tap you out at reduced risk for break even, and then TP1 would have got hit.
Yeah.
So for me, this would have been a stressful trade, unfortunately. So yeah, cool. Any questions on that?
No, everything is good. Please, can you explain for me your boxes? What is your yellow box and
What box? Okay, these.
yeah, timing, just
Yeah,
timing.
yeah, yeah. So this is my Asian.
Mm-hmm.
This is my Asian. This is my London, and this is my New York.
Yeah, okay. Just that I know.
Yeah, no, no, yeah. That would be helpful. Yeah. So this is my New York Asian, which is this would have been a good point of interest. Hold on, I don't know why it does this. That would have been a good point of interest because it's the liquidity sweep that we like to look for.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So why does that keep coming? Cool. So that was that, and then again something very similar to a NJ. It was that it came into a point of interest, but just not with the timing. And I think yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when we look at what's it called, Nasdaq. So the reason why I've been focusing more on Nasdaq than the other two was because Nasdaq has respected its slingshot, whereas both of them were currently trading higher but still respecting the same price. And then for me, that doesn't allow me to take a trade in that because I won't be able to journal it. Whereas for this, I can actually put lower time frame slingshot and then redistro or lower time frame distribution type 2 or something. So just to cover some ground, Nasdaq has been really slippery for me. All of these I've been waiting and I've been looking. So I wanted to get this low. We got it. Then I was looking for something in here inside that New York price action. Price comes into it, but when price comes into it, that's Asian. I was asleep, so that was really naughty of it. And then the next thing I needed was obviously for price to make this low, which we got. Now this is our new order flow leg. I like this as our slingshot, as our redistribution. I like the fact that it's a Thursday, and I like the fact that there is a New York in there. When we
Mm-hmm.
come into here, I like what we see in here. We got the break, and then when price came up, I actually took a sell in here, managed to get it down. So reduced risk and break even. My reduced risk got hit here, and then we went and we've actually traded above that. And again, during Asian, during Asian, we've done some sort of redistribution, and then we pushed in a new leg. So now again, same thing. I like the fact that this is New York. I'm not going to be paying attention to that. It's in between my 50s and my 80s. So whenever we do come back up, somehow I can see that.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's look at in terms of what order flow was done this week, right? Now, the one main thing that I was paying attention to was obviously this last push up, right? Because essentially this is still what's maintaining the order flow. We need that to break to then look for some selling opportunity here. This is just a retracement of this leg here.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is also why I kind of didn't want to take this. So this was the first reason why I didn't take this re-entry opportunity, and the second reason would be the timing because we'll look at that. So just on a simple fib here, there's the 50, there's the 80, and this is where price was. Okay, so we could very well see some sort of accumulation that could bring us into the premium to sell around here, which is what ideally I would like to look for. But the best scenario for me would be to take this down and then come back up. Then I know, okay, cool. There's no demand in play. Sellers are actually starting to sell this. So in terms of this was the entry that we saw. Now I like the manipulation here. We 2, 3. So we can definitely see the accumulation in here. We can definitely see so at this point here, we can definitely see the trap for buyers, right? At this point here, especially the fact that like we tapped into that 50, especially the fact that we tapped into that 50, we have accumulated as well. We've got a booth, and then we're seeing that here. So when price is coming back down, you know, we could be also looking at some sort of accumulation. People might be trying to buy into here. So definitely a trap for the buyers. But essentially we get the break. So that is what we would have definitely needed. And then when you look at the other two as well, they all give that break. Okay. And then upon that break, you then find your full volume candle. When I done my research, it was the 47 minute. You go to the low there. And then again, this would definitely have to be reduced risk because this is order flow, right? Redistribution inside the order flow. Just go to 17. And then again, we're looking to target that low here, which is right above it, 12 to 1. And then ideally, we can leave some sort of runner to go into the 80. And then that's when you can actually look to look for a hedge because you're protected. Okay.
Yep.
Hedge here inside the 80. This is where you can actually afford to throw another $50 to see what happens. The what you can do is it can give you three scenarios. It can the buy can help you come back into this redistro. Okay, so that's one. It can go and it can break, and that's two. Or it can go and come back to break even, and that's three. So when you plan it out like that, you already know what's up. So we just wait for price to come up, and it does so pretty cool. Comes right into that. But as I said, for me, the second thing why I didn't get into it was because of the timing. This was 8:30, so definitely not wouldn't have been able to take that. I wouldn't if this loss, I wouldn't have been able to justify myself. And yeah, in terms of trade managing it now, so I definitely needed that low to break. Next high, when we make that, I'll take some sort of break even, pay risk, and then I'll take some partials here. Take some partials, and then I'll leave. So maybe I'll take 50% off here, and then I'll leave another. I will close the rest, or I'll close another 25 at that 80, and then leave that other 25 just in case we'll break that low. Cool. So at that point, 11 o'clock my time, so about midnight your time there, reduced risk opportunity was given. And then we go into Asia. Nothing much that can be done here. Nothing much. And then we wake up in the morning. So at that point here, definitely look to reduce. Go to break even, because there's no reason to let the profit just like that. Definitely go to break even. And then now we're looking for this to get taken. And then this is Frankfurt Open. And then there you go, we get that booth here. So if I was to do $450 like this, so here your $50 would have been around 600 and something, 630 ish. So you go ahead and let's just say you're taking 50% of that. So you would bank yourself about 315. 315 is what you would have got sitting down there. And then close 25, and then you would have 25 remaining. And that would be where we are right now. So you'd be sitting around a 14 to 1. The highest it would have given you would have been an 18 to 1. And then you're currently sitting around just above $350 that you would be able to bank on that. Yeah. So that did come into that 80 here. Yeah. Cool. So that was this opportunity. Again, any question on that? I feel like this was pretty much straightforward, but the only two thing is I didn't like the fact that we've come into demand and then we've done that during outside of my trading hours. So that was definitely one to just sit by and let go.
Yeah, I agree. I know other two did exactly the same at exactly the same time, but I am no way trading at this time.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's different for the guys over the East Coast over people in America, because I guess they get to see the real power hour, or they at least get to see like lunchtime and stuff like that. Whereas
Yeah,
for us here, it's definitely like it's definitely like dinner time. We're preoccupied with families or with this and that. We have to make dinner, so like yeah, whereas for them they might let's go to someone
yeah,
like yeah,
because
for
nine
example from New
thirty is
York.
my family time, so I'm not
Yeah,
allowed
so
to trade.
exactly right, because for them it would still be like from around 3 p.m., which is not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. So that was Nasdaq. The other one I got, me and Jake, we was actually looking at this, and again, this was of order flow and order flow. So just on this, so G Chef, we've been bearish like since somewhere down here, and we're bearish times three, and we've kind of got ourselves into this Pac-Man kind of price action here. So we've got series of lower highs, and then we've got a series of higher lows. So we don't know what's in cool. We don't know what's like who's in play. I do know that if we do break above, we come into the structure, I would want to sell. And that if we break below and we come into accumulation and my hedge opportunity, I would want to buy it up into our structure leg. Okay. Turning this whole thing into ideally, if I can get into an accumulation, turning this whole thing into a reaccumulation. If we don't break, sorry, if we do break something like that, then I'll be looking at this as some sort of distro. with a very low risk because we didn't get a UTAD or a manipulation. So it would just be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's my point of view. However, there was a clean price action here, I believe. I don't know if it was this. Might have been this week. No, no, sorry. The entry actually came in. Oh yeah, Monday. It did come in this week. Yeah, yeah, it came into this week, and I think this is pretty cool. So let's look at it. So as I said, we've got this that's done nothing, and we've got this that's again done nothing, and we've come down into here now. Cool. So when we go now, the only again, it was just like very similar to NJ. I like the fact that there was an accumulation, and I like the fact that there was Asian liquidity swept in there. So and again, we can all see that one drive, two drive, three drive. We can see the spring was during London. Yep. And again, just go boom to boom, 50 and 80. Ideally, throw some sort of risk into that 80. If you're not comfortable, if you're thinking it might turn around and give us that spring, then maybe just wait for an accumulation. And then we come into that 50. Price gives us another type of accumulation in here. So one, two, three, and four. And again, this for me is like a type 4, right? So you get that, and then you get obviously you get this break. So this is oh sorry, uh,
Why is
yeah,
it type 4 for you? Even.
because I'm looking at it like this. So this is my trading range:
Mm-hmm.
one drive, two drive, three drive, and four drive, and then this is the creek.
Yeah. And what need to be different for the type 1 for you?
For me, if it was a bit more parallel, so if it was a bit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
okay.
if this came up a little bit higher, where we've actually tapped into this, or maybe we went up higher, then I would say yeah, because right now we can just see at the moment sellers are still in control. Like when we look at this push and when we look at this push, cool, those for me are good. But then when we look at this push and when we look at this push, it's not really deep enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there is no strength in this
Yeah,
drives.
exactly that. There's no strength in this. So that for me would have been a type 4. Because like if I had this price action, let's see if I can. If I had this price action in here like that, instead of this, and then we've got this as my spring, then I would say yeah, this is the type 1 for me
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
because here there's no doubt that buyers came in, so it will be the same thing. Whereas here, if I was to clear everything, I can't say the same thing about this price action in phase B, you know. So yeah, cool. So again, we would have needed that to break because this is our low, this is our new low, and this is our latest low. So we would have needed that to break for us to get into something. There was this micro in here, and again, this for me would have been a type 2 because you get one, two, and then three, and then you would have needed that to break. Price does break, and then come back into that 50. You could have put it there, offset off for that 80, and then put another 80 and just below there, or you could have put it at 450, that down. Um, and then off she goes. So if you didn't get into this one, I don't think I would have got into this one either, right? There was the re-entry opportunity when price did actually give us that break here, right? So when price gives us that break here, so two things I would have done, I would have measured that whole move, and then I would have measured the retracement. And then for me, I would also throw a little bit something in here because it just lines up. But then we could offset it in terms of the 50 and the 80, like just like how we did here. But this just right taps right into it. And in terms of reducing the risk, what you could have done was hold on, do that somewhere there to the so ideally price shouldn't have gone any lower than this, and in this case it doesn't, because when we look at this accumulation, this is the last point of support, and then we can see the volume coming in. So ideally we don't want price to go below that. And again, you could have offset here and then put another split risk here to actually do the whole thing. And again, that went to some crazy R&R because of obviously of the news. And Jake was just laughing because he actually woke up early. I think, yeah, we were both watching this during London session, and we was trying to see. So this is the session that we was in. We was trying to see this, if, because yeah, my alert is still there. We was trying to see if London would have give us a sweep and then maybe come down into here to see if you could get into something. But again, it maintained that Asia, and then went higher, came back into itself, and then went up. But yeah, that was just a pain. But but again, this is not something that I would like hold my breath on, because there is no there isn't anything else I could do, unfortunately. So cool. So that was pretty much everything I wanted to go over in terms of backtesting. I am gonna do another video once something happens on AED Chef. There was just this week alone, there was two opportunities, two very clean opportunities. Did you plug into the call when I done this one?
No.
Okay, cool. So there last month, no, sorry, this Monday gone, there was an entry in there that was very clean. And then this, I believe it was Thursday. This Thursday, yeah, Thursday exactly. This Thursday there was this opportunity. Let me see if I can pull it. Yeah, so this is what I was looking at around 10 a.m. my time. Um, Essentially it was price making it a low. This is what was obviously maintaining it, but this was the cause of it. This was the redistribution of it, and then I like the fact that there was some confluences in here and in here, and then I was looking to obviously make some short continuation of it, and then around 3 p.m. Thursday, the 50% of the 89-minute of this candle got activated, and then reduce risk, break even, and then like we came back. So this would have been a clean entry, and we can see that here. See? So we actually
Yeah.
come back into that distribution, but it comes back freaking during Asian, man. So, and this I bet you comes into that 80 as well, huh? Yeah, there you go. Comes into that 80. I think it lines up with my 88.8. Yeah, look. just filling up that imbalance in there as well. So it is what it is. So this was the one opportunity. This was the second opportunity, and then yeah, price just kind of went down from there. So we've got our first target. We've got our first target here around 5 to 1, and then our second target here 7 to 1, and then this is the last target to cause that bearish low at 10 to 1. Um, yeah, to cause this low here at 10 to 1. So let me just locked. Cool. So yeah, I was kind of waiting on that 80, that 80, that 88.8. See, there was 80% of the 89 minute, 80% of the New York, and then 88.8 retracement, as well as filling up the imbalance in there. So I kind of was waiting on that, but it tapped into that 50, distributed pretty well, and then went down. So that's that's what I did. But as I said, I'll go in depth in it once either this gets hit or price retraces and then takes me all out. So we'll see. I'll do a full trade on that, and then I'll have to do it for my journal anyway. But yeah, but that's pretty much it in terms of, let's just see yeah, I don't think I would saw anything this week on gold or silver or anything like that. But yeah, did you see anything that I haven't gone over, bro?
Yeah, so I found a couple of entries on EU, also on the dollar, the XY, but we don't trade it. And I found, I think it was two entries on the U-Chef. There
Okay, let's go to
was,
you, Shaq.
U-Chef was really clear.
Was it buy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So for me, I wasn't willing to do anything up until we cleared this high, which we have now. We've cleared this high.
Why do you need that high?
Because this for me was that redistro
Mhm.
that's obviously maintaining this. This is just lower form of order flow. And then when we look at this, we've tapped into this. So ideally, number one, we broke that. When price was here, I wanted it to come down lower. We never got that. And then price was here. I'm not willing to take a trade if price never broke that, maintained it here, maintained that high, distributed, and then came down. That for me just shows that they've tapped into the supply. But now that we have come inside this 50 and 80, we have accumulated. The accumulation actually gave us a boost. Any pullback is now game on for me.
Mhm.
So that's how I'm looking at it. I was looking at, I mean, you can see my box here, that this accumulation. I was looking at it, but it must have been much deeper than what's giving us. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the break, and then off we go. So now
To
I'm
be
waiting to
true,
see.
I saw this accumulation a little bit different. I can draw you if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, gone.
Uh, yeah. So this was my first change of character that defines my trading range. And this was second and third drive. This was my manipulation that broke here. So this was, it looks kind of funny. This was my valid accumulation with
Okay,
the break. We came back to 50% of this. I mean, it was 50 or something deeper. And
okay,
we reaccumulate with the shakeout of this. This
okay,
was my reaccumulation.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I see how you're saying it. But I
And
think my only thing that will be like, banging in my head would be this. I don't like the fact that we have come into this accumulation with this. This is very, very, very clean.
Yeah, it is. It is. I
We
agree.
can see how they've they've drawn it out. They took their time and stuff. So this is very, very clean. So if this is standing next to my accumulation like this, no matter what it was, if it was a type 3, type 4, type 1, type 100, I definitely needed this to be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Just for me to be on the safe side, number one. Number two, again, we're focusing so much in terms of intraday price action. Let's look at our structure. We're still bearish times two. Okay. So, and then especially we have tapped into, oh no, it's not this one. Sorry, I'm tripping. It was, no, it's a different one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
No, my
is from
apologies.
here, yeah.
Say that again?
We are if you go to the left a little bit, do you mean we are from here and we tapped to this like
Yeah, yeah. So we tapped into this accumulation that's holding this entire thing. No, but this is what I was gonna say. When we look at DXY, look at what DXY has done, and look at where we've tapped into DXY.
yeah, I know it
So
was the 2002 distribution.
okay, cool. So we've got this leg here, this higher time frame break, and then look, we've come right into the higher time frame extreme. So and then we've got this. So when we're seeing that DXY has reacted from the higher time frame, um, we could very well see price kind of coming down, breaking this, and then coming up, or come up more into the extreme, ideally 50 or 80, and then distribute to come down lower. That's something now I'm potentially looking at. So that's why I was very cautious with UChef, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, but now that price has definitely shown its hand in terms of, yeah, we've taken that supply point out. I'll be more risk on with it, any sort of pullback. Um, cool, but yeah, it's kind of like same thing that I'm looking at now. So I'll be looking at this as my slingshot, and then this as my MC, and ideally I'll be looking at inside here because this looks clean.
Yeah.
But what did you see in here?
So my first entry was from the if you stay here, this was like my redistribution, last redistro. And
Mhm.
this was the SC of the break. This leg was SC for me. And
Okay, and then price comes
here
down.
is type 1 with Frankfurt.
Okay, let's look. Mhm.
But it came to just to 50. I had limits on the 80, but it missed me.
I see. Yeah. Did you offset it?
Yeah, 50 entry. I had stop loss on this.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
50 entry had stop loss on this low
Okay.
here,
Yep.
and 80 with the full stop loss.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was the second entry when I followed it that it reacted from the SC, and this was my non-type 1 manipulation that broke order flow.
Yeah.
So I saw this like my mitigation. This was the mitigation like and went higher. And this was really questionable because this when you see this it looked like a distribution. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact is we made the new high and accumulate with Frankfurt sweep in the point of interest
Yeah.
and made a new high. And this was my second entry here.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. This is actually. Oh no! Look at that. Are you ready?
Yeah, but it was just the type 2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. when the price comes back into that. So I'll be looking for two things. I'll be looking for price to come either in here, or once we make this high, I'll be looking for a re-entry opportunity. That's how I would be personally looking at it. So let's see which one it gives. There was your entry there, bro. There was. So what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot and then I'll send it to you and then you can put that in your journal because that's honestly there your re-entry. Let me just clean it up for you. So you've got okay, cool. So you've got delete that simulation and I'll put and this is all inside. Oh no, so this is yeah, so this is inside that 50 in it. Yeah. So we come inside that 50. We have accumulated. Um, we've got a booth here, also got a booth here, and then yeah. So how would you because obviously I'm going to take a screenshot for you. How would you have personally done it? Would you have done that to that and
No, I
then
would go with the full stop loss.
pull up to here? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Uh, cool. And I think there's one, two, three, four. So it's 50% of the 2 minutes as well. Oh, hold on, let me actually do. Oh, bro, look at that, man. Let's see this down for a minute. And then how you would have. Okay, you got. Oh, hold on, give me a second. My cat is on my neighbor. Um, okay, thanks. Okay, cool. And then in terms of trade managing this, so that's your entry there. Let me just make a note. Uh, Entry at, so let's just say 11. So I'll put it your time 12:50.
Yeah, thank you.
Entry at 12:50. Good session time. Yep. And then so we got this row. Engineer, got this row.
Yeah, in this point, I would be definitely on the reduced risk because we are tapping back into the supply.
Okay. So you would definitely
And
be
at this low, I would take my profits, at least pay my risk.
okay.
Depends on how I'm on with the month, but in the February in this stage, I would definitely take at least 25%.
Okay. Cool. So reduce risk and break even. Let's just see. Let's just wait for it to come up. There you go. Okay. So that, and then now we just go wait for take partials there. What's our 10-1 there? Nope, not yet. Ooh. So the moment you're still in, what's the market changeover, and then this actually took a quite a long while. We'll back
Yeah,
this 19. So I want to round it up to 20. And I'll just make a note here. So 10-1 achieved, 20 hour in trade. And then let's just see what your runner would do, right? Because you would still leave a runner, won't you? Even if it's like
yeah.
10%. Okay, cool. So let's see. Fuck you know, bro.
Yeah, pretty good for February.
Very good for February. Um, Runner would make a new order flow high at, was it 70? 72. So I'll just round it down to 70-1 of the spreads and commissions and everything. Yep. Yeah, this was clean actually.